Right, so I did try measuring some voltages on this unit, on this diagram here, on the detected RF, sorry, this one here. I couldn't really get much sense out. I tried looking at voltages and waveforms on the scope and stuff like that. I basically didn't get any real sense out of that, which I thought was a bit strange. So I'm suspecting maybe there's a complete fault here, and that's why it's playing up. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pull the input off the unit and try and dismantle it in order to see what's going on in here and determine whether that diode there is blown or this diode here is blown or something like that. Okay, so let's get on with that. Okay, so I've already loosened this nut with my special pair of ring spanners, obviously. I really should get some tools in from the garage. Okay, so that will free it up slightly. I'll move a little bit. Obviously, I've got power disconnected. Now I've got to loosen off the coax, which is on the back of that just there. Don't know if you can see that actually. You may not be able to. It's not the best thing we're trying to get onto. Get on, turn. There we go. So what I'm hoping to do is just loosen this coax off, pop it out, and hopefully the wire's got enough slack in them to allow them to pull the thing out the side to then work on it. So this is why I like tweezers. You can get onto little things like this quite easily. So, go on this bit. Come on. There we go. Right, pop the coax out. Hopefully. It's going to be a little bit stubborn, isn't it? Okay, let's try and get a bit of a bend. Go. I'm hoping you can actually see what I'm trying to do here. One of those things is to try not to break anything. Okay. So there's the unit, and there's the cover, which looks like it may be sealed. Thing is, the input is working, there's just no output from it for the level. Let's go try giving these a pull in case it's falling off. Or there's a break, maybe, that's possible. Which one was it I wanted? It was the yellow. It's got a little band around the coax. Just there, this orange one. There's the yellow one, which is this middle terminal here. Do I risk pulling it apart and potentially breaking it? That is the question. I'm going to try and get a knife blade down the side of it, see if I can open it at all. It might just pop open, but I'm guessing it's not going to be that easy. Seems like it's probably got epoxy holding it shut. So I might have actually done a sealed unit on it. It's entirely possible it's sealed. But it's definitely got epoxy there, or some kind of glue. which isn't what I wanted to find. I wanted to find a serviceable unit, not a non-serviceable unit. And yeah, 5088-7035. Also has the part number of 8231-6241, it looks like. And he's got 5088-7052. Seems to have several part numbers on. So I wish I'd pick one. Now I'm a bit torn what to do. That's going to be a bit harder to get apart than I thought. I don't want to damage it. Let's see if it gets some slack on his wires. Okay, that's got it. Just trying to work it in free air. Yeah, so let's try and just take this connector off here as well. So I'm hoping I can get this thing apart, but it's not looking very promising really. I don't want to damage it because the input is actually working for the frequency sensing, and that's the more important aspect of it. But I want to fix it because it's not working right. And the fact that someone looks like they've already pulled this apart once, well, pulled the thing off once because of that coax being loose, means there's a good chance I'm on the right track here and someone's already had a look at it and determined this part is what's faulty, and thought, well, there's no point going any further with it. That's what I'm hoping anyway. This doesn't look too promising for me getting into it, does it? It's I'm guessing that's pressed in there quite a way as well. I'm hoping it's just glue on the outside and it will just come open, but no, I don't think I'm going to be that lucky somehow. Yes, I know I'm cutting tools myself, but it's fine. At worst, I'll stab myself in the thumb. Won't be the first time. I think that might be okay, the edge actually. It's like metal. Yes, it's going to be interesting, right? Doesn't look like it's going to be cooperating. Yeah, this might not be such a good video after all. I was hoping it'd be a simple put the thing off, open it up type video. Well, it's not looking like it's going to be that, is it? I think that moved. I think that moved then. Yes, that moved. So okay, there's potential here. The end of it moved. So I might be able to get this to cooperate after all. But yeah, it's certainly not being that good. Yeah, it's definitely moving. So I've got to get the whole thing to move. So what I might do actually is just pause this video for a minute because it's taking too long, and I'll come back to it once I get that open. Well, I got it apart. Yeah, it's interesting, certainly. This is not what I was expecting. Holy, wow. Yeah, that really is not something that I can fix by the looks of that. I can see little bond wires in there. I can't really make much sense of what's actually in it. Let's get a torch on it so I can see a bit better. Maybe from here. So yes, that's what it looks like inside. I might just zoom this in a bit more actually. Right. So that is what's inside that sampler. That is certainly very interesting. Yeah, I need to steady this more. This is a bit all over the place. Hold on a second. This isn't working. Let's just adjust this a little bit. Here we go. Right. Right, so there you go. That's what's in it. That's pretty interesting. So in that is a whole bunch of little bonds, and there's diode connections and inductors and capacitors. Right, this doesn't look like a particularly serviceable piece of gear to me, especially with it shiny on a substrate. You can see some tiny little bond wires in there. I'm going to try pointing them out, hopefully without breaking anything. So there's a little bond wire just there, another one just over there, going between those points there. There will be some more here, and just there somewhere, I can't quite see where it is. And this little wire just there. So yeah, this will be why these parts are incredibly expensive, because just look at the complexity in this thing. Yeah, this is concerning. It means I probably can't just fix this. Yeah, I'm just trying to see if I can actually see any problems there, you know, like a wire off or something simple like that. But that's not looking like it's going to be the case. Wow, that is really not what I was expecting to find. So there you go, there's a teardown of a sampler unit on this thing. There you go, I suppose. But wow, that is so small. Yeah, I mean, this camera is making it look a lot bigger than it really is. Okay, so there's that device. There's my finger. Okay. So yeah, this is now this is quite concerning, because I was hoping I could just, you know, get a diode and I'll measure the diodes and see if I can find what's wrong with it and maybe replace the diode. But this isn't looking like it's a possible thing now. Is there a bit of rubbish in there? I think it might have been. Yeah, it was. Probably for me trying to prise my way into it. Aluminium, sure. Anyway, What the hell do I do about this? Eh? So there's the left-hand two connections are like a pass-through sampler, because they're not actually connected to the rest, they're just near it. So which is on the diagram. I'll zoom out a little bit and I'll show you again. So on this diagram here, it's got this pass-through sampler here, and this bit here. Let's just zoom out. Okay, so this section here will be the left section here, and that's the little board on the left. So the right hand section is obviously the main detector part. That is the input. That is something else. Goes through the mini coax. Which would be the sample output. So that's the branching one, and that's the input one. So those go through there. So input and branch. So that, in theory, feeds. It's got a parallel capacitor on across the input, and so it's got a series capacitor, parallel inductor, and then it goes to diodes. So a series capacitor would be those little wiggly lines. Okay. So let's try and make some sense of it. So you can just see those offset lines in there. Get the thing to focus properly. There you go. And if you look at the middle one, the right hand one, so you can see it's quite clear. Yep, there you go. See those little staggered lines where they interweave together? Those would be the capacitors. Okay, so you've got a series capacitor coming in, series capacitor going out. And then there's supposed to be inductors parallel, which will be there. And there'll be another inductor there. So input, capacitor, inductors going to ground. And the output, series capacitor on the output, inductors going to C5 connection, the parallel capacitor. Which C5 is, I'm not sure. I think it's this one. Right. So that would be the inductor section. That would be a capacitor. So that bit there would be a capacitor. That would be an inductor. That's capacitor. So the diodes are probably just across those there. Because he has through one diode to the output, and there's another diode passes through to this other strip which has got another capacitor, which then has resistors. So a diode there, through capacitor, and then here somewhere is resistors. Probably on those connections there. Because this is the ground. Can't really tell. Then there's another diode which then goes to the output, which I know is the middle one, just there. So that's the output. So the diodes seem to be across those gaps. Let's see if we can get a magnifier, that makes it even bigger. Doesn't look like it's going to work. Too much reflection there. Yeah, too much reflection. It's not working. Now if this does have a fault, then I can't fix that. I'll try and find another one. Yeah, it certainly looks that way. I can't even test it, I don't think. I don't think I can get to the connections. No, we'll see. So I was probing around this with my altimeter trying to determine where the diodes are on it. You see there's a little bond wire just here on the centre pin, right below the screwdriver tip. That end isn't connected. It's just bent, flopping around. So I think that this wire has actually come detached, because I was trying to measure continuity between the pin up here at the top and that trace there, because there should have been continuity between the two. And from what I can tell, because there's little black dots just there, the diodes, and there was nothing there. Although that's interesting. And I noticed there's a little bond wire there which is just flapping around. And I've bent it back into place. Now what I'm thinking I'm going to have to do is give it a little bit of a touch with my soldering iron and reattach it. And hopefully there's no bad outcome from that. I can't tell if any other bond wires are off. I'm hoping that's the only one, but it seems like that could be what's wrong with it, if that's all it is. I know that there's no output from it, so that little one wire could be what it is. So I'm going to resolder that and go from there. So we might just have a little poke on the other one just there at the bottom. It certainly is easier to see through the phone screen because it's magnified by a lot. So just there, that bottom wire there is probably okay, hopefully. I can't tell. I can't tell where that goes. So this one here is definitely detached. There's just moving around. So I'm going to reattach that one. There's another one just down here which I'm not sure of. Just there. Is that attached or not? Very delicate work. Right, so I've seemingly managed to restore that little bond wire there. When I was soldering it, it vanished. I think it desoldered both ends and then attached to my soldering iron disappeared. Thankfully some of the things I have here is actually some little magnet wire stuff here. There you go. Really, really fine stuff. tiny, right? 0.1 mil. I bought a bunch of this from AliExpress. I got several rolls of it. Thought I'll use it one day, and here we go. So I've now bonded from that trace. Let's get my my less than fine point. Actually, I'll get this. All right, so I bonded from that trace to that post. And when I did that, I lost the bond wire between that post and the terminal. So it's close enough to just put a little blob of solder across there, and that's done that. So now I can actually measure continuity between the outside connection and the trace, just there. Whereas before I didn't get that. Right, so I actually think that may have repaired the unit. I don't know. We'll find out. I'll give it a go. Put it back together. Right, so I just tried it out. It's still not working. When I had it apart, I measured across those diode junctions, and this one here measured okay. This one measured 0.03 in both directions. So did this one. So I actually think that maybe both of these two diodes are blind, which would be why it's still not working. I'm guessing those two there both failed, but that one's still working, which is why I've still got an RF signal coming out with a counter, even though it is suppressed. It's got a lower level. So it could be that the lower levels because of this diode here shorting out. Yeah. So there's probably very little I can do about that, especially as it's so small. I can't really just get in there and change it because there's no actual diode there. Yeah. Oh well. I'll have to see if I can get another coupler.